So apparently Destiny
I
is
don't think I want to.
racist.
I don't think I want to do this. Dude, I'm so bored of like the race card shit. It's just boring. And the WL community like playing the race card like all the time. Like I get it, you're black and that's tragic, I guess. But I don't care that much. It's boring as fuck to me. Honest to God, like some of the exploding like black online communities have been like some of the most homophobic places I've been to, like openly. Like I feel like I'm back in white communities from 2012. I love that like the transphobia is just like rampant and nobody cares. The Transformers, LOL. Like for me to jump in here and for them to be like, "You're racist," like the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like it feels so beneath me to even like jump into that shit. I just super don't give a fuck. And whether XQC here is trying to simp for it because he wants to be in this community or whatever, I also just don't give a
So that's the clip for context right there of how Destiny is being called out for being racist by a lot of people that are in the WL community and a lot of black content creators who believe that he is genuinely racist and that he just stands on this moral high ground because he's a leftist and he thinks that he has all of the positive moral content and he does all the right and everybody else is wrong. But I think when you take a deeper dive into the actual stream of what happened, you could easily tell that he was just pissed off about what was going on and how many people were spamming him, asking him about the whole Kai Cenat thing. But let's keep it a buck, discuss this with him.
Well,
Oh
fairly
God.
quiet, but
based. Wow.
do
Who's
you
that base streamer?
do you feel like you could have worded things better or no?
I mean, I can always word things better for people that are gonna get upset or whatever. But do I care to word things better on this topic? No.
Why do you
Do you at least understand the backlash though of like why you're getting the criticism?
Yeah, I
Because I
understand.
just feel like it's
Dude, I've been
it's
dealing with
understandable why you're getting
snowflakes on the
criticism.
internet for like 7 years. Of course, I understand the backlash. Yeah, of course. People get mad over all sorts of stupid shit.
So you just feel this is just the WL community being snowflakes, is like any other situation that's happening?
This is very, very ironic. This is very funny because if you think about the whole Kanye situation, how everybody just grilling him like, well, you might have been right on that, but maybe you could have worded it differently, or all he has to do is apologize. It's like they're doing the same. It's the same shit. It's like one side always feels like if the other side gets caught saying some shit, they need to apologize or they need to say stuff differently next time. It's like, bro, if you're gonna actually be about free speech, then you shouldn't be telling a guy to reword what he says to make it sound better to your narrative or sound better to your side. Like, if he doesn't like the WRL community, if he thinks they're all loud, screaming and shouting black guys, then that's what he thinks. Like, there's nothing authentically racist about that belief.
Been on the internet before.
Yeah, of course.
He's an internet bro, man. Damn. We're kind of new to this. I ain't gonna
He's a
lie.
vet, man. He's too old.
He said we
He's
kind
not
of new to
at
this.
all. Go ahead, Omar. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want, so here's like this is like the bridge I'll extend, okay? Or not even a bridge, okay? I think that I don't know if you initially saw the comments, but people got mad because I made like first of all, I streamed like 10 hours a day, okay? I made a random comment in like in another context about like, oh, there are some streamers that I've seen blowing up on LSF. It seems like there's like this trend of like black Zoomer content where people like scream and tear their shirts off or whatever. I'm old. It's not for me. I don't get it. I made like a comment like that. If somebody said that like, oh, I think you're overgeneralizing, like they have more content or like Kai and Speed don't just do that or whatever, I think those are like fair comments to make. But when the first thing people do is they jump on this like, you're so fucking racist train, it's like, bro, give me a fucking break. Like if you're pulling out the racist card that quickly, that speaks to some level of fragility that I don't care to fucking like like sort through. That's wild to me.
I think that's why people are coming at you though, Destiny, because when people like Andrew Tate and when people like the red pill community say anything that's deemed or targeted towards the LGBTQ plus community or towards you taking it up the butt and being a man, like it immediately, oh, you're homophobic, you're transphobic. It's the same shit from both sides. Like, I don't see how people are not seeing the hypocrisy on both sides' arguments and just deciding to stay away from both sides.
Do you feel like? Okay, Dama, go ahead.
No. Omar, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
But do you not feel like if it's coming from those said streamers, like if Kai were to say this, or we were about to play Rage's clips, but if Kai was to say, this was a race-based thing, do you not feel like there's some fairness in that? I mean,
I mean,
maybe
it's
not
race based in that like a lot of the WL community is black.
Maybe
I
not
mean,
with
it's
the
race based in that like a lot of the
sorry.
Whoops, sorry, my thing just echoed. What could you repeat what you just said? I said it's race based in that like a lot of the WL community is black, but I'm not like I don't hate them because they're black, and I'm not like stereotyping them because they're black. That's just like that's the type of content I typically see from those communities.
Go ahead, Dama.
Cool. In all fairness, the preference, everything that we've seen, I did think that Kai's response was a little irrational. I didn't think that the way Kai responded was the best way to respond. And I don't watch that nigga like that, so I'm not really mad there. Cool. But the Your Rage one, that one, Your Rage's comments was kind of bad. I'm pretty sure there was no like response from you to Your Rage. At least I'm not.
There might have been. I don't remember which. I watched a lot of videos. I don't remember who else said what.
I seen it was just a fucking rabbit hole of react to. So that shit's crazy. Kai's reaction, okay, who cares? But to just, I don't know, the shit I've seen. Do we have any more clips? I don't want to misspeak
bring up Your Rage's
or blend anything else. Let's watch the clips first.
People in my chat are saying I did.
I think that it's genuine for them to want to play the clips and actually go through and make sure that what they're addressing is on par, because Destiny is a veteran at this shit. Okay, when it comes to debating, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to move the stick, and he knows how to play and cater to his audience. So I don't think Let's Keep It a Buck is like 100% ready for this debate. And all the stuff they were saying before this, and if you haven't watched it, you could check out the full video by Destiny, but all the stuff they were saying before Destiny hopped in the chat, now it seems like they're a bit shaky and they don't really know what to say. And I haven't even heard much from B-Souls, but Damo hasn't said really much of anything, and they're sort of just like backing off now that he's on here and ready to defend himself. This is weird.
Did respond to Your Rage, so I might have done a response, but there were like 5 or 10 different videos that people were making like responding to me, so I don't remember. I don't remember what my response was to. What were the comments that he was making?
I'm about to bring up Your Rage's clip, right?
Because I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, this is
That's good though. You shouldn't just.
Y'all, like I was watching dude, and I see like a video on his recommended talking about some like Destiny does like a black person quiz. Like Kobe Bryant popped up on the screen, or was it LeBron? It was like one of those two. I think it was like LeBron. He's like, is that Kobe Bryant?
Okay, Kobe or LeBron? This is a very famous basketball player, okay? I know that. Oh my God, wait, I think this is the one, right?
What do you mean the
helicopter guy, right? Am I right? Is it?
Okay.
I think what they're trying to. What I think they try to
so
do is.
I was gonna say, I think that is, before they even speak, I think that is so disingenuous. It's like, okay, well, you show this clip of him, and let's say the thing is, oh, Destiny does know who that is. Like, who you can't not know who Kobe is. So Destiny does know who that is, and he's just doing that because Kobe's black and he's trying to insert it. But if he's saying, is that the helicopter guy, like, that's not racist. That's just insensitive. But then you're going to mix it into the racist argument, and it's all going to blend together because you know that fans are just going to watch you for you and not really take everything into the proper context. Like, I don't know, man.
Paint this narrative that, and I saw you say this.
Yeah.
That some of your stuff is jokes, and people get offended by jokes. Now, I can even see how that particular segment could be jokey. But I guess I'm asking you now, do you see how that could be offensive to somebody?
A lot of my content can be offensive, yeah, for sure, of course. That's like part of what I do on the internet. But racist? No. Offensive? Yeah, sure. But racist? No, I don't think so.
And you're fine with offending them, correct?
Yeah, I do. I've been doing offensive content for like 15 years on the internet, yeah.
I feel like there's some overlap though.
Overlap between what and what?
Between something being both racist and it's not like a mutually exclusive thing.
Well, sure. I mean, you can make racist content that is offensive. If I say anything racist, or you think I've said anything racist, you can feel free to tell me like, oh, I think this was a racist comment. But
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just got
Whoa,
here.
So are they saying that clip just now was racist, the Kobe clip? Because that was not racist. He said, I mean, first of all, look at Destiny. It's fair to assume that he doesn't know much about basketball. Like, look at him. He plays Factorio and he has blue hair. It's fair to assess that he could genuinely not know basketball players. But because we're the black community and we know like the entire rosters of teams off the top of the dome even when we just woke up, we assume that it's just generalizable knowledge. Like, no, it's perfectly plausible for a blue hair white boy to not know who Kobe or LeBron is and be mixed up when he spent his whole life just debating and playing video games. Like that's perfectly and you know, he went to music school. Like, it's not like he's actively involved in the 2K community and said this, or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no connection there. But can it be offensive? Yes, because he said, is that the helicopter guy? And he's being insensitive to the fact that Kobe died in a helicopter crash and had his daughter with him. So obviously very, very insensitive and very offensive to the family of Kobe. But again, like Destiny said, racist? That wasn't racist. The comment about the WRL community being mostly black people, racist? No, that's like saying, oh, most of Hartford is black people. That's racist. No, it's not. It's statistically true. Like there's a difference between using a race-based argument and being racist. And whether or not it's offensive is not the line that makes it racist. Whether or not it's racist is the line that makes it racist. Racism being that you're judging based upon the race. Just stating that something is majority black does not make it racist. For instance, when Ben Shapiro was like, oh, why is, 75% of the black community, or why is single motherhood so prevalent with majority the black community? That's not racist. That is a statistical fact. It's not racist to just make that claim. Now, if you come out and you say all black women are going to be single mothers, that's racist because you're stereotyping based upon race. Like, there's a difference, and it is a fine line, so you have to walk it carefully.
With reflux right now, so if I sound sped, that's my apologies. But do you feel like what you said wasn't racially insensitive though?
Which part?
I mean, low key,
grouping the WL community into just
like,
loud, overreactionary streamers.
Okay,
just
hold on.
grouping guys like Kai and Speed into this niche bubble where, like you even said in the clip, you don't know their content or anything else like that, but you just group them as Black Zoomer. Which again, when I first heard it, I didn't know the fuck a Black Zoomer was, but all it takes is common sense to realize you just meant a young generation of a young black person. It wasn't that hard. People just hear shit and overreact. Cool. But it just felt like a lot of people...
This is my impression of the WL clips that I've seen blow up on Ellis all the time. Is it seems like it's like Zoomer black content creators that do like a lot of like loud bombastic stuff. That was my impression. I'm not saying all black people are loud. I'm not saying that I think it's bad that black people are. That's just like my impression of that community. Like I don't know how
your reactions.
What?
Do you see how some of your reactions could have stirred some shit up though?
Which reactions?
Just some of the things that you said to dismiss or just look off some of the comments you were getting from other streamers, from other WL community people.
Yeah, if your jump to it is going to be that you're racist, of course my comments are going to be reactionary to that. But I'm not going to bootlick because I'm worried about coming off as racist. I know that I'm not racist. And there's like nothing I've said that's like even remotely approaching anything racist. The idea that like I have to be, and it's so weird too, because like even for a meme where like people putting out like that Kobe Bryant shit or whatever, I legitimately don't know what like a lot of black basketball players and shit look like. Like if you, like I've heard the name Steph Curry a ton, I have no idea what Steph Curry looks like, right? There's a lot of shit like that I just don't, because I don't watch basketball. That's just not my community or whatever. I don't know anything about it. But if I were to mix up two white people, like nobody thinks twice. Like, oh, LOL, you mixed up Brad Pitt and Matt Damon or something. Like nobody. But as soon as I mix up like two black people are like, oh my god, do you think they're all the same? Are you racist? Like, no, what the fuck? I mix up faces sometimes.
All right. So I ain't trying to trap you, bro, and I swear.
Dude, you can trap all you want. Trap as hard as you want.
I swear to find one of these dudes that trying to just
go for it. That's all good.
But I will say this: how essentially are you talking about a community that you don't know while simultaneously they loud?
Because this is the nature of like online comment or online content. People post clips of people and they're like, oh, doesn't this guy do that content? Like it happens to me all the time. People are like, oh, Destiny. I mean, it's happening right now, arguably. People are like, oh, Destiny, isn't he the racist guy? Why do you think that? Oh, I don't know. That's like the past like 4 clips I've seen. I don't know. I guess it happens. Like on LSF, usually there are clips that are posted of Kai, and there used to be of like Speed, and every clip that gets posted and blows up is usually them like screaming at somebody, tearing their shirt off, doing some crazy bombastic shit. That just seems like what happens. Like, oh, maybe that's like most of the content. Maybe it's not. I even say in those clips, I think I say in the clips, maybe there's more content. I don't see it because that's just what blows up on LSF. But like, that's just the nature of like shit that gets clipped online, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess the thing is essentially, I guess what essentially got you in this position. Now, granted, I heard you say you don't give a fuck like 20 times. I do know that. I guess what has you in this situation, essentially, you have like the idea that you don't really like give a fuck or whatever. And I ain't got nothing against you, but like essentially, you don't give a fuck on what you said and you standing on what you said. But yet simultaneously, you then claim that you don't know this, that, this, and that. But then you have all these judgments on said community.
Right, but so like here's the thing, right? So there you can still not know and form an opinion. Is that I feel like that's what they're saying is like, oh, well, you would have to be completely informed on what the community is to be able to make those statements and be able to make. Well, that's not true. Again, let's circle back to the Kanye thing. Kanye doesn't know everything about Judaism or everything about Jewish culture, but he has still experienced enough and seen enough, and enough has been done to him for him to make comments about the Jewish community. It can be applied to almost any situation where you can not know the full context. I mean, just think about the red pill community. You don't have to know the full context of the government, of what the Federal Reserve is, and all of that to form your opinion that you don't trust the government. You just can then not make a completely blanket statement that nothing the government does is trustworthy. Because obviously that would be stupid. But if you make a comment like, oh, you know, some of the stuff that I've seen from the government has led me to believe that the government lies sometimes. That's a perfectly legitimate statement. And if you circle it back to what happened with Destiny, it's like the statement he made was that from what he's seen, most of the, WL community is black Zoomers who scream, rip up their shirts and do all that stuff. Is that completely untrue? No. So if that's all he's seen and he's stating that's all he's seen, and therefore that's what he believes it is, it's not racist. It's just not fully informed. Bro, it's just so dumb. This is such a dumb conversation.
So it's kind of like, it's not that you can't lose, but more so you can't do nothing but lose when a WL motherfucker looks at your shit, right? So essentially, if you're gonna say that you don't know anything about Kai outside of clips, right? But then simultaneously, all you see is him screaming and yelling. So then you're gonna assume he's screaming and yelling, and I assume that you're a smart individual because the way you talking and stuff. So you have the resources, you have the knowledge to at least do some research on Kai, and quickly you'd find out that he's arguably the most creative person on the whole platform. I don't know. I didn't really like how you said what you said. Now I'm not gonna jump to the gun and call you a whole ass racist. I think that's corny. I think anytime a dude not black and they get deemed racist because they don't just scream pro black 24/7, I will agree with you that that's a bit corny. But I do gotta pause and be like, yo, you basically judging the community that you don't know, and that's whack. That's something that like people of color deal with for a long time.
It's just normal human shit. I wasn't sitting there writing a review of Kai's like entire streaming career. Like, hey guys, today we're gonna review Kai's career. All he does is scream and shout, and that's all he does. Like, it was literally a 15-second random throwaway comment on the back of like some 3-hour commentary that I don't know from the totality of my shit which 15 seconds are gonna get clipped, and then people are gonna act like, oh, this is Destiny's PhD thesis on the entire WL community. Like, it wasn't. It was a random 10 or 15-second throwaway comment while I was talking about like Ben Shapiro reviewing Lizzo's flute playing. Like, it was a totally random comment. I didn't know that shit was gonna get clipped and then blown up, and then people were gonna psychoanalyze it to figure out if I got like some deep-seated hatred for black people or the WL community. When I say, real quick, because I kept saying like I don't care. When I say I don't care, what I say is I don't care to try to like jump through the hoops to prove that I'm not racist. That's just a game that I'm like way overplaying. That when I say I don't care, that's what I mean. I say I don't care, and I don't even really care about like this style of content in general. I just don't intersect with it much. But again, even in the clips that are there of me, I literally say like, oh, you know, I might be old, and I am. I'm like 34. Maybe I'm just like not into this content. Maybe they do more and I just haven't seen it. Like, I said all of these things, but everybody just clips like these 10 seconds out and then turn it into this like wacky and wild thing about like the racist dude that hates like all the WL community, which is just wild to me.
Yeah,
man. Like, I'll leave it there. This is a whole 30-minute video, so if you would like, go ahead, head over to Destiny's channel, watch the full video and leave a comment on this video what you think. Leave a comment on his video what you think. Subscribe to the channel. But I think overall, like it's clip versus clip at this point. It's like, okay, well, Destiny's viewing clips that don't really summarize the full extent of the WRL community, of the Black online content creator community, and he made a statement just based off of what he's seen. They see the clip of Destiny saying that and they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't like how you said this, but did they care or bother to go and watch the full stream to see it in its full context? Obviously not. So it's like everybody's just taking just the clip and running with it. It's like, it's corny. It's corny. But anyway, I don't think Destiny's racist. Let me know if you do. I think that he might have said some, insensitive stuff, but that's what he's been doing since he began his channel, is being offensive, being insensitive, and not giving a damn about what people think about him. And that's gotten to him where he's at. That's gotten many people where they're at, is just being able to speak freely and openly without having to care what other people say about you. So if you're a fan of free speech, like this video, subscribe to the channel, because all we do here is talk. And yeah, dreamers, out.